A small white cake sits on the plate. It looks soft, plain, and completely unremarkable. You bite in and it pulls back. It is chewy, stretchy, and springy in a way almost nothing else is. That texture is not a side effect. It is the entire point of mochi. This is mochi, one of Japan's oldest and most beloved foods. And it is defined by its chew, not by any flavor. That single idea unlocks everything. Mochi is less a dessert than a technique. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why mochi is so chewy, and why that one texture shows up in dozens of different foods. There is real science and real craft in every bite, so let's decode it. First, the basics. Mochi is made from rice, but not the rice you eat with dinner. It uses a special short-grain rice called mochigome, or glutinous rice, and despite that name, it contains no gluten at all. The word glutinous just means sticky and glue-like. That stickiness is the whole secret. The rice is steamed until soft, then pounded into a smooth, stretchy mass. No baking, no flour, just rice and force. That pounded mass is mochi. From there, it can become almost anything. You will find it across every corner of Japanese life, in sweet shops, at festivals, in soups, and at every New Year. It is cheap, humble, and made from a single ingredient, yet it is treated with real reverence. People have eaten it for well over 1,000 years. Few foods are woven this deeply into a culture. So why is mochi so chewy? When the rice on your plate is fluffy and loose, it comes down to starch. All rice contains two starches, amylose and amylopectin. The balance between them decides the texture. Regular rice has plenty of amylose, which keeps the grains separate and fluffy. Glutinous rice has almost none. Instead, mochigome is packed almost entirely with amylopectin. That is the sticky, heavily branching starch. Amylopectin loves to cling to itself and trap water. So when this rice is cooked, it turns soft and intensely sticky. Pound that sticky rice hard enough, and the grains break down completely. They merge into one smooth, elastic mass. That is where the chew comes from. Long, tangled starch molecules, stretched and bound together. It is the same molecule that makes the rice sticky in the pot, concentrated, pounded, and stretched into something new. So there is no gluten and no dough involved, despite the name. The chew is pure starch, not wheat. And quickly, before we go further, thank you for actually watching this, instead of scrolling straight past. Stick around, because this plain rice dough becomes far more than a simple white cake. The traditional way of making it is a spectacle in itself. It is called Mochitsuki. Steamed glutinous rice is placed in a large wooden or stone mortar called an yusu. Then it is pounded with a heavy wooden mallet. One person swings the mallet down again and again. Another quickly turns and wets the rice between each strike. The timing has to be perfect, or the mallet catches a hand. It is fast, rhythmic, and genuinely a little dangerous. Slowly, the grains disappear. The rice becomes a glossy, white, elastic dough. Watching a skilled pair do it is mesmerizing. The rhythm almost turns into a kind of music. The hot rice is folded over on itself again and again. Every strike stretches those starch molecules a little further. Today, machines do most of the pounding, but the hand-pounded tradition is still very much alive. You will especially see it around the New Year, often as a lively community event. Making mochi together is half the fun, because mochi is deeply tied to celebration, above all to the Japanese New Year. It is a food of good fortune. Families make and eat it to welcome the year ahead. Its stretchy, unbroken texture stands for strength and long life. You will also see kagami mochi, Two round cakes stacked with a small orange on top. It is a classic New Year decoration. So before mochi is any specific dish, it is a symbol. Rice transformed, standing for luck itself. That meaning is why it appears at so many milestones. Births, weddings, and festivals all call for mochi. Now to the part that really matters. Plain mochi is only the beginning. That chewy dough is a blank canvas, and Japan fills that canvas in dozens of ways. The most famous is daifuku, a soft mochi shell wrapped around a sweet filling, classically sweet red bean paste. You bite through the soft, chewy skin into the smooth paste inside. Two textures in one small, round package. Quick note before the last stretch. I have separate deep dives on other Japanese foods defined entirely by texture. You will find them at the end of this video and linked below. So if one catches your eye, you can head straight there. Then there is dango, small mochi-style balls served on a skewer, often grilled and brushed with a sweet soy glaze. There is ichigo daifuku, with a whole strawberry tucked inside the sweet bean paste, chewy, sweet, and a little tart all at once. And of course, mochi ice cream, a thin layer of mochi wrapped around a ball of ice cream, cold inside, chewy outside. That one has become a hit far beyond Japan. You have probably seen it in your own supermarket freezer. There is sakura mochi, tinted pink and wrapped in a pickled cherry leaf. Soft, floral, and tied to spring. There is warabi mochi, dusted in nutty roasted soybean flour called kinako. Cool, wobbly, and lightly sweet. Each one looks and tastes completely different. Yet every single one is built on that same chewy base. But mochi is not only sweet. And this is what most people miss. Plain mochi is savory just as often as it is sweet. It is food, not just dessert. At New Year, mochi goes into a soup called ozoni. The cakes turn soft and impossibly stretchy in the hot broth. Grill a block of mochi, and it puffs up and blisters dramatically. It swells like a balloon before your eyes. Wrap that grilled mochi in seaweed with a little soy sauce, and it is called isobeyaki. Chewy, toasty, and deeply savory. That version could not be further from a sugary treat. Same dough, a completely different meal. You can even slice dried mochi and fry it into crackers. Those puffed, crunchy snacks are called okaki and arare. There is one serious note worth knowing. That famous chewiness can actually be dangerous. Mochi is so sticky and elastic that it is a real choking hazard. Every year in Japan, people are urged to eat it slowly and in small pieces. It is usually cut small and chewed carefully, especially for the very young and the elderly. The same texture that makes it special demands a little respect. That warning tells you something about the chew itself. It is powerful, elastic, and genuinely unlike anything else. So here is the real genius of mochi. It is not a single food at all. It is a technique for turning rice into a chewy, stretchy canvas. And that canvas can go sweet or savory, hot or cold. Take that same pounded rice and fill it, and you get daifuku. Skewer it, and you get dango. Grill it, or drop it in soup, and it becomes something else entirely. The dish changes, but the identity never does. It is always that unmistakable chew. That is the thread running through all of it. Change the filling, the shape, or the heat, and you get a new dish. Keep the pounded rice, and it is still mochi. Japan did not just make a rice cake. It turned one texture into an entire family of foods. That is a pattern we keep seeing in Japanese cooking. A humble idea, just rice and water, refined by technique into something with real character. Nothing here is complicated. It is only rice, pounded with patience and purpose. So the next time you eat mochi, Notice what your teeth are doing. Feel that slow, springy pull. That chew is the whole story. It is glutinous rice, pounded until the grains become one. Once you understand it, you see it everywhere. In daifuku, in dango, in the shell around your ice cream. So here is your takeaway. Mochi is not really a dessert at all. It is a chewy technique, and rice can become almost anything through it. One simple texture, and truly endless dishes. Now I would genuinely love to know, what is your favorite form of mochi, sweet daifuku, or savory grilled? Tell me in the comments below. And here is the one moment I will actually ask. If this gave you a new appreciation for that little chewy cake, leave a like. It really helps the channel grow. And subscribe if you want more of Japanese food decoded, one dish at a time. To go deeper right now, the video on the left breaks down onsen tamago, another food defined entirely by its texture. And on the right, you can decode miso, a true pillar of Japanese flavor. See you in the next one.